At this point, I've taught thousands of designers Framer, and I keep seeing the same problems and roadblocks over and over again. In this video, I'm going to give you my top 5 realities when learning Framer so you don't make the same mistakes. Let's go. Before we get started, I'm hosting a free live workshop next week where I run through my 10-step process to go from beginner to Framer expert. It's on Monday, the 25th of May at 3 p.m. Central Time. It's completely free. You can sign up and save your spot with the first link below. Or if you're watching this video in the future, you can catch the replay too. Okay, so the first thing I want to cover is that most people learn Framer in the wrong order. They get really excited about the fun stuff in Framer, so think like the animations, the interactions, shaders, all that cool jazz that you can do with Framer, and it is really cool. But the common issue that I see over and over again is that they don't learn the fundamentals of how to build a website properly. So that's using things like layout, understanding the rules of the web and how you actually build a proper website, because how you actually build a website, say if you're a developer, is actually the exact same of how you should build it in Framer as a designer, but you're just building it visually. So thinking about like containers and breakpoints and responsiveness and all this stuff. And again, I've got some great tutorials on this channel in terms of how you should go about some of that stuff, but actually starting with some of those fundamentals, even though they're quote unquote boring, it'll actually kind of give you a massive unlock. So when you get to the more fun stuff like animations and interactions and shaders, you can actually do a heck of a lot more because you actually have a really solid foundation in terms of how things are built. Okay, so the second misconception or problem that I see people run into when learning Framer is understanding that Framer is actually more than a design tool. I think often designers are limited by the sense of like, it kind of looks like Figma, it's a free-form canvas, I can just design. And while that's like true, and you do have this sort of like pretty canvas to design pretty things on, you also need to learn how to build practically. So actually considering that this is a real publishable website that you're building here. So thinking about like the build quality is really important, making sure you're using the right sizing, considering responsiveness, SEO as well. You want to think about all this sort of stuff, like optimizing your site for performance. So not actually using really hard or really large imagery, like actually trying to like condense that and make it really accessible for any type of user on any device to actually join your website and view it. Thinking about like analytics and stuff as well. So like conversion tracking. Framer has a ton of really powerful marketing features that you should be utilizing, whether it be your own website or even for a client's. So I think there's a really big misconception that people get into where they're just designing a website like a designer, which, don't get me wrong, is fun to play with colors and stuff. But at the end of the day, we're actually trying to build a website that's going to work on the internet. And there's different rules and things that you need to consider when actually building your site. So I actually highly recommend spending a little bit of time taking the designer hat off and putting on the marketer hat and actually thinking about some of those extra elements that need to come to play when actually building a website. Okay, so number 3, Framer equals full stack designer. If you learn Framer, you can become a full stack designer, meaning you can own the entire process end to end. You can design, develop, and publish. And I think the real lesson here is you need to treat yourself as a developer as well and not just the designer. And this actually makes you significantly more valuable as well to clients because you can actually own that full process end to end, but actually realizing that, hey, my role isn't just to design pretty stuff, but it's actually to build stuff and publish things, not just prototype. I think that's really, really fascinating. And I think there's, again, this misconception about like learning Framer and what it actually makes you become. It's more than a designer. You actually become full stack, you actually learn to publish, and you actually become more of a developer, I would say, than even refining your skills as a designer. And I think that's extremely powerful, especially in this world of AI where everything's kind of moving away from just like Figma prototypes and, you know, you want designers to actually be able to publish their own work. Framer is a tool that actually enables you to do that. So get serious about the development side and not just the design side. And the other thing I'll point out too, and I've seen this with a bunch of students as well as myself and people that I've worked with, is when you actually think like a developer first, you actually become a way better designer from the get-go. So even if you're designing in, say, Figma, your website initially, because you'll have the understanding of like how things need to be built later in, say, Framer, or even just fully custom code, because you kind of have those fundamentals of understanding, okay, this is how the web works, you actually become a much more smarter designer because you're making decisions in the design phase that you know can be implemented properly and how they can be implemented properly in the development phase. So really important to note. Now, leading on from my last point, when you position yourself as full stack, you actually become way more valuable. Like, clients will pay you more money because suddenly you are the designer who can not only design, but also develop and publish. You can own that full process end to end. And basically that money that would traditionally go to a developer, you can actually put inside of your own pocket. And from a client perspective, it's way better to actually get the designer who actually has the taste and the articulation of the brand, and being able to like translate that themselves as the person who's owned that from the beginning to the end of the process. That's actually way stronger of a value proposition. So I highly recommend, if you're learning Framer, to be able to charge for Framer as well. And again, there's a few different videos and things in my course that actually kind of talks through some of this stuff. But it is really important to note that clients don't actually pay for Framer. They don't really care about the tool. Like, don't get me wrong, Framer is amazing for clients. And I've seen so many great clients that I've had over the years love Framer compared to, say, other tools, just because the easy use. And obviously for designers, we all love it. But the truth is, they just don't care about the tool as much. What they care about is the outcome, which is a great website at the end of the day that does great things for their business. And Framer is just an enabler of that. But the real lesson here is this: you can become way more valuable as a designer if you can design, build, and publish. Framer is your enabler for that. So really lean in and sell the full stack, because you as a designer has taste, and that is the thing that is irreplaceable. Okay, and my last thing that I really want to cover here, which again kind of leads on from the last point, is Framer is just a tool. Knowing the tool of Framer itself isn't valuable. It's what you actually do with it. And I think there's plenty of design tools out there. If you live on X or Twitter like I do, you realize that there's new creative tools every single day. But the real value of learning Framer and what it lets you become is it lets you unlock the ability to publish your ideas. And I think as soon as you realize that, it's like a big aha moment. Because suddenly as a designer, I don't have to just prototype things, I can actually publish things. And it can go further than just simple marketing sites. I think a lot of people think Framer is just for like portfolio sites and things like that. It's not. You can push it really, really far. If you follow me a little bit, you'll realize that we create a bunch of different plugins. We've enabled the ability for people to build full Shopify e-commerce stores in Framer now. You can build web apps as well. You can really push it if you want to. And I think that's just like the beauty of Framer. It's actually a playground for creative ideas and being able to like publish that on the internet. That's so exciting. And I think, you know, once you kind of get to the end of like the Framer traditional learning journey, which is like, okay, I can build and publish a website that I want, then you can go to the next level, which is like, okay, now what else can I do with Framer? And the more you play with it, the more you poke with it, the more you try to break it and do things that are unexpected with it, the more actual better outcomes that you can get, and the bigger your mind opens up to, hey, Framer is actually a canvas for publishing my own ideas, and that can go a lot further than a website. I'd love to know in the comments how long you've been learning Framer for. I hope this video has been helpful on your Framer journey. Now, as a reminder, if you want to join my free webinar, you can catch the link down below, where I'm going to teach you my 10-step roadmap to go from beginner to Framer expert. And if you enjoyed this video and you want more Framer videos just like it, consider subscribing to the channel, because we put out new videos every single week. But until next time, I'll catch you later.